And welcome, folks. I'm Tom Vicka here on a Wednesday. This week is rolling by fast, but I've got some weather information for you. A lot of topics to talk about here. Rapides Hospital. This is our first thing. We're going to take a look at our cam there. Seeing some buildups in the distance. In fact, I think to the left, just you can see the water tower in the distance. Back in that direction, I think we're seeing some rain there. So yeah, if you haven't gotten rain yet, and it hasn't lived up to my forecast yet. The day's not over yet. So Toledo Bend, seeing some rain in the distance there. Hazy conditions under a mostly cloudy sky. And then a couple of things I'll be talking about. In fact, four things I'm going to focus on. First of all, rain and storms. Then your weekend forecast looks better. Stay tuned for that 7-day forecast coming up soon. Two fronts in the forecast still. Yeah. And two fronts in August. That's crazy, but it's in my forecast. A tropical trifecta. We got three systems that we're watching there. And a cooler weather heading into September. Is that possible? Well, it's possible, but is it in the cards? We'll take a look. All right, so let's go on to the radar showing showers and thunderstorms. The best coverage today has been across northwestern, northern Louisiana, East Texas. We got another batch there across western Mississippi there. So outflow boundary noted right there. Heading south through Beauregard, southeast Vernon, and northwest Rapides Parish. Some pretty good storms in the Natchez there, pretty heavy rain there. Pretty good storm there southeast of Natchitoches up toward Aloha, Montgomery, in that particular area, I-49 right here. And another storm there in the Kisatchie around Bellwood. So they're working, and I'll put this into motion over the past hour so you can see that this is drifting southward. So again, your rain chances not over with yet because there could still be an uptick. Okay, look at this. This is where our front is. Notice these showers and thunderstorms being touched off by that. That's moving southward toward our area. And then Hurricane Aaron off the east coast of the United States. You can see some of the outer bands are not far from the area of North Carolina known as the Outer Banks. Okay, flash flood risk for us again for tomorrow. Some locally heavy downpours. Got high rain chances tomorrow. The moisture still lingers. We got the front, maybe to focus a little bit of the activity, be unstable. And so we got to go with that flash flood risk. I think 2 to 3 inches of rain is possible in spots here in central Louisiana, and that could fall quickly. All right, so that could pose some issues as far as drainage in the usual places. So let me clock you through the weekend, latter part of the week. Wednesday, 8 o'clock, so this evening, some decent storms off, especially across our western parishes. This model might be underdone elsewhere, but certainly we'll have that. Going into tomorrow morning, back to work and school, we got maybe a shower or two, and then we'll see an increase in the day Thursday, and some thunderstorms mixing in there, but decreasing in the evening hours. Once again, into Friday, at least scattered showers and thunderstorms lingering for one more day before things improve for your weekend. All right, so let's go beyond the future cast here, beyond the weekend, and into Hurricane Aaron there for the next 5 days. There's the previous track just off the west coast of Florida, straight west in the Atlantic, and then that gradual turn toward the northwest and eventually moving due north. Now, putting it into motion here for the National Hurricane Center forecast, they still think it could become a Cat 3 before it's over with, but we can see that this is going to be a concern to shipping lanes, marine interest there all across the North Atlantic, as well as areas off the east coast of the United States and some of the island nations there in the Atlantic. So Hurricane Aaron, it is 295 miles south-southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Maximum sustained winds back up just a tad to 110 miles per hour. The pressure, 27.85, significantly lower than yesterday when it was weaker. So that makes it a category, I'm going to call it a Cat 2 plus. This is on the upper end of Category 2 intensity. So the movement is now due north, 360-degree compass heading at 14 miles an hour. And Aaron is a very large hurricane. Hurricane at force winds extend out up to 105 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds up to 265 miles. So that's a big one. All right, so it can reach out and touch folks far from the center. So rip current potential is one of the things I'm focusing on here as well as some of these areas have tropical warnings and that type thing. All across the east coast of the United States, Bermuda, the Bahamas, and Atlantic Canada will have risk for flash for rip currents and high surf. So tropical interest areas in the eastern Atlantic, that's AL 99. It's got a 40%, then going into the area closer to us, 60% there for that tropical wave. But looking at this right now, it looks like it is not going to get into the Gulf of Mexico. Now let's check the spaghetti models with 99, Invest 99. You can see that this one is expected to move straight west across the Atlantic. However, the window of opportunity for 99 to increase to a tropical storm or a hurricane or something like that is limited, okay? Because once it gets into the western Atlantic, eastern Atlantic, east of the islands there, we will see less potential for development. Conditions will be unfavorable. So it may only have 2 or 3 days before it starts to encounter unfavorable conditions, and it may not develop at least in the next 7 days. All right, so I think I would advise watching it though. So the front, composite front coming in through the day Thursday. We had a little bit of influence from the north here for today, and that is continuing. Got a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms up, holding our high to 90, 91 for Friday. We cut it to about 40% there. And then finally your weekend coming in with very low rain chances there starting on Saturday down to 20%. Notice the temperatures coming up during the day, but nights aren't bad. 70 for Saturday, Sunday, 71 for Monday. And then look what happens behind the second front. Yeah, it's coming. The second front, it's not going to be the big fall front that you look forward to every time in the middle or latter part of September. But minimum temperature for Wednesday morning, an average of 68, leaves room for some middle 60s, and then 86 degrees. It's been a while since we held the average high in Sinlock to that low. Okay, so that's my 7-day forecast. Stay with me though. I got a couple of outlooks you might be interested in beyond the 7-day forecast here. So August 28th through September 3rd, there's a large area of below normal temperatures expected over the United States. We're kind of right on the edge of that. There's above in South Texas. So we're kind of in that interface between those two. So that second front, that 68 low Wednesday morning is kind of part of this, beginning of this. Now above normal temperatures will stay in the northwestern areas. But again, this is going to be the headline as many folks, especially north of us in the Midwest, Tennessee Valley, and some of those locations have some delightful temperatures. What about rainfall during that time frame? Got 28th through the 3rd of September. Now, typical, look at this, 1.5 inches. All right, so that is from some recent tropical influence there. But you notice in the area of above normal, all the way down into the Arklatex, and we're kind of on the border. This is a near normal here across South Louisiana. We're kind of part of Central Louisiana and a lean above normal, and then it's downright perhaps wetter there across portions of the southern plains and the interior northwest. Okay, so that's it from me, and Nick Mikos will be back with you in the morning, and I've got a PM cast to give you there, another stream for you about this time, maybe a little bit earlier for tomorrow evening. Take care, and thank you for your support for Sin Live Weather.